Hey there, fanboys and fangirls. This is your host, the other Luke. And joining me as always,
The other host.
Lord Skywalker.
And Ryden.
and we are so deeply sorry for our absence. But adulting is difficult. That's pretty much what sums up our absence. And we appreciate you for all you awesome people that stick around and like our posts and share them and listen to our random tangents. But there was some good things that happened today, and there's been some good things that's been released, and there's been some bad things that's happened. So we got together, and then we actually had a night where everyone could get together and chat, and we're gonna talk a lot of Marvel tonight. A lot of Marvel tonight. Actually, Actually, everything that we're talking about in some way, shape, or form has Disney related to it in a way. Aliens not as much as everything else, but there is the Alien ride at Hollywood Studios, but that's neither here nor there. But we've got a lot of Spider-Man stuff. Guardians just came out. The new Vanity Fair cover spread for Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and then the news with Justice League and its future. So let's I guess to start off, we'll start off with the only DC news that segues into Marvel news, I guess, with who's attached, and then we'll kind of go from there. So as you've probably all heard, it's with a sad heart to say that Zack Snyder had to step away from Justice League due to some family matters that have come up that apparently had come out back in, I believe it was March, but they've actually been able to keep it pretty low key. But it's just something like that could eventually will get the best of you, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think he did the right thing.
And with everything, I mean, the fans of that franchise aren't really making it any easier on him, you know.
I mean, one thing people need to understand too is that he pretty much wrapped up all of the filming already. His hand is really done. It's cutting room floor now.
Yeah.
And his replacement is really good at that.
Yeah.
Super good. Yeah,
Which,
they could have picked a better replacement for him, somebody that's already helmed something like this before.
And that someone, of course, is Josh Whedon. In case I said Josh, it's Joss. My bad, I can't talk today. Which he
Millions
did.
of nerds cry out in anguish at your mistake.
Yeah. You said Josh, not Josh.
Jeez, are you even a real fan?
It's Josh, not Josh.
Sorry.
Well, see, I mean, everyone probably obviously knows him from his start with how he pretty much kicked off, a lot of the Marvel stuff because he had a huge hand with Avengers, several of the Avengers actually, and it's just interesting to see. It's kind of like J.J. Abrams doing Star Trek and then doing Star Wars. Whedon he did Avengers and is now doing Justice League, but he's not really doing Justice League in the sense of he is directing it like Ryan said, like he's coming in as kind of like, hey, here's the reins. We're winning right now. Just finish out this stretch. All you gotta do is just hold on to the reins and just make a couple small decisions, and everything's golden. Because they haven't mentioned any kind of reshoots or anything, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, they've completely wrapped. I don't think they're doing any reshoots at this point. And if they do, it would be mostly because they realize they're probably missing something. But again, Whedon's a trustworthy guy when it comes to that stuff.
Right, and it's not like it was with Del Toro and Jackson with The Hobbit. It wasn't like they started and it was just several months in, and then it was like, oh, well, here we're going to switch it up, and then he's finishing out. No, what he's done with Man of Steel, what he's done with
Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I mean, he's done like, and even like on the bonus features and stuff on the movie, on the Blu-rays and stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff that he's put in. Like, they brought in like I think the term is like a linguist, like to create this whole new language for Superman's people in Man of Steel. Like, he put a lot of work into this, so it's, I don't know. I think it just needs to be, he just needs to get his space and just be able to process everything.
Yeah, for sure. 'Cause that's something that I don't think anyone should have to go through, but those who do, it's awful.
Yeah, definitely stepping away. That's going to be what's best for his mental health as well. Like, just to
Be with his family.
yeah, get away from everything and have some time to himself and with his family.
And you do see things like this. It happens in Hollywood all the time. I think the only one that really comes to mind right now is you had John Travolta and his son several years ago, and he pretty much dropped out of the limelight after that. He just took a step back.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just need to do that.
But to segue from that, today, which is the 24th of May, which is the day we're recording, there was a new trailer for Spider-Man that came out, which is pretty awesome because it showed off a lot of the cool tech within Spidey's suit.
I just want to say I fucking love that trailer.
Whoa.
First F-bomb of the episode.
That trailer has me more excited for that movie than any other mention of Spider-Man in the last year. I am pumped. I want to see it. I'm in love.
I just have two words to say, and that is spider parachute.
Right?
It's such a smart idea because, I mean...
He needs
Well,
one. Well,
it's
I mean,
awesome. In the animated series, like, that was one of the things that he had. Like, he made it out of his webbing, but I mean, still, it's probably not a nod to just because it's a Spidey it's a web parachute, but still, that's what it made me think of.
my pet peeve that I am having right now is that Stark is making all of his tech when in the books Peter made most of his, well, all of it. And
Yeah, but you got to look at it this way. This is the same thing with like Disney and Star Wars. It's like, yes, Lucasfilm could have continued making Star Wars and done a fine job at it. Look at the Clone Wars. But once they got the bank account of Disney, look how much better it is now. Peter is still like, you saw that within Civil War. Like, Tony knows he's good at tech, and I'm sure we'll see them work on some tech together. But it's the fact that Tony has all this money, and Tony is trying to get this connection, because like he's still feeling like depressed about all the people that had died and all the other attacks and things. So he's trying to get this connection with them, and then everything starts going south. So he feels like he's being a bad mentor to Peter. So it ends up like conflicting. So that's why I feel like it's going to be like a very like, not bromance, but very like fatherly, like sonly type
like
bonding.
Jedi Padawan relationship.
Well,
Yeah.
you do also have a part in the trailer where Parker's friend is like, "What's this? It's training protocol." So there's a good chance they may even start to dismantle Stark's tech and reverse engineer or even make it better.
Yeah.
So we may still get that aspect of Peter Parker in the film.
Yeah,
I hope
Because
so.
it's like in Civil War, we only got to see him tinker with what he found in the garbage because he's not like straight poor, but I mean he's not like he doesn't have like the means to get like any kind of new gear to build anything.
Well, think about it this way: how broke were you in high school? Like, he can't build these suits.
That's true, but
Right? I mean, the suit that he wears
it's a super suit in this
Couldn't even make
Spider-Man.
a suit now.
I feel like in the comics it was tights, and in this one it's like,
To be fair about the high school comment though, I was more well off back then because I didn't have bills.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it wasn't your money either.
But now I have debt.
Well,
Stay away from debt.
He will soon enter that world as well.
Just don't grow up.
As long as they don't give him his own credit card like Batman, we're good.
Oh
yeah.
no. I don't leave anywhere without it.
What we didn't see a lot in this trailer, I mean, I wanted to see more bad guys. Is Shocker not going to make an appearance in this?
I don't think so. He hasn't been announced.
They've never came out and said that he's in it.
I could have swore I've seen a
There's
still.
been speculation
I thought he
based on
was.
characters
Yeah.
that they've seen.
Because I don't remember where I saw it, but the Vulture and the other villains are getting the tech from like the Chitauri. That's how you say it, right? Chitauri?
Yeah.
They're getting the tech from the aliens and they're reversing it and using the weapons to.
It is very possible that it may just be
Yeah.
like a very similar to the Rhino from Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he's in it, but not at the forefront.
Do you remember the remake of Total Recall?
I did not see that.
Oh.
Is that the one that had
guy's name is
Colin Farrell?
Bokeem Woodbine. On IMDb, it shows him credited as Herman Schultz,
Which that's the
Shocker,
Shocker.
number 2. Yeah, it says
Yeah.
Shocker number 2.
Shocker number 2.
Number 2.
Well, he's number
Yeah.
1 in my
Double
book.
shocker.
Oh.
Shocker. Oh, well, no, that's. Yeah, I don't see a Shocker number.
Number 1?
Yeah, it just says Shocker number 2.
What a shocker.
Shocker number 1.
Yeah, we've just got Herman Schultz / Shocker number 2.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, so we'll definitely probably see him.
Maybe that has something to relate to the weird device that he faces with the bank robbers in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we see it in the new poster. You see a little person down there, which I think is Shocker.
Which makes sense, because even out of the B-list villains, he's really B-list.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
He's part
he
of the
is.
Sinister Six. Well, I take that back. Not anymore, but
Not all of the Sinister Six are all that, okay?
I mean, yeah, I think
They
they
have-
are. Doc
they-
Ock, Vulture, Mysterio, Craven. Are we gonna see Craven? When is he gonna come back? Or come in?
How
these
many
movies?
of those people were actually smart? And then you have Shocker.
Yeah, you're right. mean,
Also, looking at IMDb here, I do see that Chris Evans is set to make an appearance as Captain America.
Well, yeah, he's in that little video, the gym video.
Well, I mean, is that going to be it, though? Or is he gonna...
Probably, maybe a
Probably.
post credit for Infinity Wars.
Especially with it being very Stark-oriented for most of the film.
That's true.
And it's kind of hard to tell from this image I'm looking at, but yeah, I think you might be right. That machine might have something to do with Shocker.
Which it is nice to see another version of that scene where he's not just dealing with them super easily. That entire place gets destroyed.
Yeah,
What place?
that bank.
Oh,
No.
the ATM. It was an ATM.
Yeah.
What?
It looked like an ATM. While we're on the topic of villains, how about Eddie, or not Eddie, what's his name?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yeah, playing Eddie Brock as Venom. Eddie Hardy.
I am super cool with that casting choice.
Yeah, me too. It's a lot better than, who was it?
Topher Grace.
Joker face.
That was a big letdown. I mean, I can't stand Topher Grace because of that performance. And, you know, I guess you can't really blame the actor as much as you gotta blame the director.
Director.
Of
The
that,
terrible.
Yeah, Sam
And-
Raimi dropped the ball on that one.
but yeah,
He
big
dropped
time.
the ball on a lot of it.
But because of that, I cannot watch watch anything with Topher. I'm sorry.
The big issue I have with the whole Venom movie is that it's not, as of now, being tied into the MCU. Which, I mean, I suppose that's not necessarily a bad thing, because thanks to Doctor Strange, they've set up the possibility of a multiverse. So you could still kind of count it as being part of it, and even all the other Spider-Man movies now.
I guarantee it. We get a Miles Morales movie.
Possibly.
I bet we will.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Or even Spider-Gwen, or any of the other million incarnations of Spider-Man.
I mean, I would love a Spider-Man Noir. I think that would be
Oh,
badass.
yes.
Yeah.
I'd love a 2099.
Yeah, 2099 Spidey would be pretty cool too.
Let's just admit it. We need every version of Spider-Man to have his own movie.
They need to take the comic, the Spidey verse, and
Fancast fan film?
hey,
Yes.
I got some sewing to do.
I've got some gym work to do.
I'll play Kingpin.
Well, we at least did get, speaking of Miles Morales and his voice actor, we did see a small part of Donald Glover's scene.
Yeah, what's his deal? I didn't know he was in this movie.
He doesn't have a listing for his character. He's just listed as himself so far.
And speaking of Donald Glover, his ties to the Deadpool series that's coming out.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Speaking of Donald Glover, how about young Lando Calrissian?
Donald Glover's got his hands in everything right now.
Quite literally.
Disney owns that poor man.
Yep.
Maybe not so much poor man,
Which
but
is kind of hilarious.
I don't really know if you should really talk about owning a black man either.
especially something like Disney owning a black man.
Okay, we're taking it too far.
Zippity doo dah. Anybody remember that one?
This just in, announcing the new adult rating.
So, what are y'all's thoughts on Thor?
I think it's going to be
Still-
the best Thor that we're ever going to get.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
We get
Whereas,
Go ahead.
I think whereas like all the other movies sort of went downhill as they progressed, except for Captain America, I think Thor's going to be the one that actually gets better with the last one.
I don't think the film's down.
Compare Iron Man 1 to Iron Man 3.
I enjoyed all of the Iron Man.
Iron
I
Man
really
3
did.
is Garbage.
But without a doubt, most people seem to hate the third one the most.
I thought it was awesome, man. We got all the suits that he
Blows up.
but still
Then becomes regular
I
man.
thought it was cool. Okay, we're talking
Regular
Thor.
man.
We're talking Thor.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Cosmic road
Okay, look
trip
at the
with
Dark
Thor
World.
and Hulk. I'm
okay,
game.
when it comes to Thor's movies, yes, this one looks a lot better than the second one did. I enjoyed the first one, and honestly, the second one I've only saw once. I don't recall what happens in that one at all.
Weird mist takes over body, gets expelled from body, guy gets crushed.
Waste of
There's the
potentially
plot.
Good villains.
Yeah, and then we got the Infinity Stone introduced in that one, the Ether Stone, or that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Ether.
The ether, which ended up being like the crap. I don't even remember what stone it was.
See, that's what you need to take away from the second
It
one.
was the weird liquid, weird stuff stone.
The Philosopher's Stone,
Oh Jesus!
Harry.
I'm excited for the Thor Hulk battle there at the end. You know, that whole yes, I know him from work.
I think that's going to be something that's really early on in the film.
You think it's gonna be early on?
Yeah.
They talked about it being like a buddy movie with Thor and Hulk, so it would make sense.
Probably meet up. They probably like tag team and like take some shit down and then like break out or I don't know.
Me and Ryden have talked about this before, but I think the basic rundown of the idea we came up with was you start out on Earth where they're trying to find Loki, get back to Asgard, everything spirals into hell, and then that's when he gets sent to his gladiator fight, and him and Hulk have to make their way back.
And Jeff,
One of the things
ahead.
I'd like to point out about the trailer is you see Loki on a ship at one point. If you actually look back at Norse mythology, Loki rides into Ragnarok on a ship that he's leading. So there's already some parallels there. That may have even been one of the later scenes of the movie that we see in the trailer.
I only remember that one scene with him throwing the knives, but I don't. I've seen the trailer maybe twice.
Daggers.
I'm super pumped for Spider-Man. Y'all don't even know.
Oh yeah.
I know y'all can tell it in my voice, but
Is anybody going to mention Wonder Woman?
oh snap! Let's wait. We got Guardians to talk about because that was just recently released, and then we'll jump back into DC.
And then we'll hit Transformers, right?
No, we'll skip that one. But Guardians,
All right.
yeah, it came out. 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I have yet to see it because I'm a horrible.
Oh
person.
snap! Do you want spoilers? Then you better get out of here.
No, it's fine. I got it. No, I already saw one major spoiler.
Ryden, you saw it. Have you
Thank
seen
you.
it, Luke? The other Luke?
I had it spoiled for me.
Who spoiled it for you?
Internet.
Oh, the internet. Bloody internet. Anyway,
Curses.
It was a very misleading article.
Oh man, that
It's one of those
sucks.
where you're like, oh, this will be cool, and then
But
it's
I
just
was the
like,
one being
boom.
reckless reading articles.
Damn clickbait.
But it was fantastic. In my opinion, better than the first. The whole
I'll agree with that.
the whole opening scene. They pretty much they pulled it like in the first one. It was Peter or Star Lord dancing through the ruins of whatever city, and then in this one you had the whole fight scene with that tentacle monster, and you had Baby Groot dancing as he was dancing to I don't remember the song, but everyone else is in the background, fighting and getting beat up, and there's just Baby Groot dancing. I loved that.
Well, no, he's not only dancing; he's also like beating the crap out of some small monster too.
Yeah, a little space rat.
Honestly, I don't know if I could say which character stole the show this time around.
I
They
can
all did such a great job.
I can tell you it was Drax.
You know what? Yondu.
Oh, Dave Bautista as Drax in this one was it was the best performance I've seen from an MMA since The Rock, to be honest.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, still, but I mean that's all that I took away from Michael Roker and Yondu.
I don't know. I just love him. He had way more character development in this film.
Most definitely, yeah, he had a bigger part in this one. And Kurt Russell as Ego, which I didn't really understand that because I don't know that's not his real father, according
it
to the
is.
books. No, it isn't.
In terms of the movies, it is.
In the movie, yeah, but I mean, not the books.
Well, I mean, the books goes off into a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of what they've done with the movies, this is the most logical thing they could do to bring in Celestials.
Oh, okay. I guess you're right. I kind of like the whole. He's the
Worth seeing.
son of an empire of a planet, and I like that better. But it's whatever.
Is it worth seeing?
Yes, it is worth seeing.
Oh, definitely.
Sorry.
One thing to know, whenever you do get to see it, there are 5 end credit scenes.
And none of them have to do with any movie coming out.
Not necessarily true.
What I mean, what? Okay, you had the picture of the Jeff Goldblum's character in the Thor movie pop up at the end, but that was it.
There is an Adam Warlock reference.
Okay, you had a word. Oh, yeah.
And that is the single titular character to go up against Thanos, apart from Drax.
Gamora.
Bless her.
But yes, definitely worth seeing.
I hope to check it out here within the next week or so. I had I guess that'll segue because what I ended up seeing this past week was Alien, and I ended up having to decide if I wanted to see Guardians or Alien, and I just had to go with Alien. I hope no one out there holds that against me, but Alien is I don't know. If it was Spider-Man and Alien, that'd be difficult. I don't know if I could give you an answer for that one.
You'd have to see both in the same night. I mean, there's no other option.
Yeah, I would have not eaten.
Your option is Spider-Man. That's your only option.
Bro, but it's Alien, and you haven't seen this one. It's so awesome.
Well, I mean, it's better than Prometheus, right? Because that one was trash.
Bro, there's nothing wrong with Prometheus. You got to set shit up. No one likes episode 1, but it gives you vital information
I
for the
enjoyed
entire
episode 1.
saga.
I love Jar Jar, and I know I'm probably going to get flack for that, but I love Jar Jar.
I used to think you're stupid if you love Jar Jar.
I had nothing wrong with
Misa,
Jar.
sorry.
But
But
anyway.
to not spoil too much of it, because I know none of y'all have seen it, right?
No. But
I have not, but I've read a synopsis of it.
It's on my list. It's got Danny McBride in it. And
Yeah, I will tell you this one thing though. It makes me really happy to see how I don't know if I want to say it. Spoil it.
Go ahead, spoil away.
Well, I mean, it happens within the first 5 minutes of the movie, and it was so shocking. It's it's a spoiler, yes, and it tells you about a person that you think is going to be alive through the movie, but they're just straight up nah, bro. You only get
Oh, do they kill him off like that early?
They kill someone off super early.
It's not Danny McBride though, is it?
Just go back and watch the trailers.
Oh man,
It's not the guy who plays the robot. What's his name?
Fassbender.
Yeah.
Michael is his name.
It's pretty cool. Like you know that there's like see, I don't like no one's seen it. I don't know what could be considered like a major spoiler or not, because there's two versions of David basically.
Oh, David.
Yeah, there's the corrupt one, and then there's the one that's on their ship.
Yeah.
If I remember right, because Prometheus had the version of him that wanted to like create them.
He wanted to F shit up.
Right.
Yeah.
Why did you censor one word and not the other?
I don't know. That's just how it happened.
But no, it's just something happens at the beginning, and someone you think that was going to have a major role in the film doesn't. And I was kind of looking forward to it, but then I was like, you know what? I'm okay with it.
Well, here's the question: do you think with Alien Covenant that there still may be any connection whatsoever to the Blade Runner series?
What?
I hope so.
There is an actual character tie there. The main guy, the guy who creates the robotic life forms that are in Alien, is a character from the original Blade Runner movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't remember it exactly, but isn't it like Wayland Yutani or something?
Yes, it's Wayland.
Wayland.
Yeah.
That's a cool.
Which is what's his name? He was in the guy from Memento. What's the actor's name? He was in Iron Man as well. I think it was in Iron Man 3, wasn't he?
Crap.
Not Ben Kingsley, right? Not that guy.
Guy Pearce.
No,
Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce. Yeah, yeah. He plays Wayland.
Okay.
But I don't know. You get to see a lot of different versions of the aliens.
Of the Xenomorph?
Yeah.
Was it scary? Because I remember, or maybe it might have been because I was little, but those movies scared the crap out of me.
I mean, dude, it's got some intense moments. That's for sure. Dude, shit goes down so fast. You're like when I went and saw the anniversary of the movie in theaters, and they had the sneak peek of Covenant at the end of it. They showed they showed 5 minutes after the movie had started. They showed that scene.
Okay.
And I was like, how in the world are they going to build a whole movie after all this has went down? Dude, the things that happen it's fucking intense, man.
So it's like it starts off at 11 and then ramps up from there.
The shit
Yeah.
hits the fan as soon as the title screen is over.
Dude, yeah, and when you realize the whole it's just a cool outlook of what Ridley has on creation in the world and the universe and everything, and how it's just it seems like there's always another creator or another designer or another person in control, and you never really know who is really
Now, with the
top.
timeline, does this movie lead into Alien, or is there going to be another one?
There's Prometheus, then there's Alien Covenant, then there's going to be two more, and then
Oh
Alien.
my god, we're getting two more?
Yeah, dude, isn't that awesome?
And didn't Prometheus and this also basically completely wipe out AVP as an option?
That I'm not 100% sure on, but I think I remember reading something about there were certain ones that are kind of negated now. And
Okay.
Neil Blomkamp's was it Neil Blomkamp? Wasn't he doing?
Yes.
Yeah,
He was going to do one, and that's sort of off the table for now.
Yeah, well, from according to Ridley, it's it's done completely. It is just not happening.
Because it's probably for the best.
Yeah, because it was going to mess too much with the overall. Because Ridley, I can't remember. I think it was on a Hollywood Reporter was where I was reading it. But Ridley was talking about how he has I guess with what's happened with Star Wars, all these other directors that have created these dope worlds, they're starting to go back and realize that they can expand their world, and that's what Ridley's wanting to do. And he's saying that he could get his world as big as Star Wars, but but it's difficult for a fan base to build around something that's on adult violence in space.
Yeah, that's true.
I can see that.
because
Yeah.
Star Wars has a huge demographic with kids and teenagers. Alien is just like you've got like your diehard horror movie fans, and then you've got just your adults that go see it.
Yeah.
You don't really have that huge yeah, they made toys for Alien, but no one really
You can't make a kid-friendly cartoon about a chest burster or a xenomorph.
right.
There's nothing kid-friendly about that. But
Well,
Have you
you
seen
probably
Spaceballs?
could.
no,
Which, there is talks of a Spaceballs 2 now that Star Wars has reawakened.
oh my god, Mel Brooks better be behind it, or I ain't gonna go see it.
He is one of the men who has been talking about it.
The real question is, will they be able to get Rick Moranis back out?
Oh yeah,
Probably not.
Yeah.
That man won't come back for anything.
Man, that's sad. I liked him.
Well, he had a good reason for backing out.
Yeah. More family issues.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
And,
Whoa.
so, just we
yeah,
did happen to mention Blade Runner. So, what are your thoughts on the new Blade Runner 2049 trailer? Or am I the only I feel like I'm the only person excited for this movie that I've...
Oh,
I've
no.
actually not watched the trailer yet.
I need to go back and watch Blade Runner.
Oh, God, it's so good.
Watch the director's cut.
Yes.
Director's cut.
Director's cut all the way.
I think I own it.
Don't be like Garrett. Don't refuse the director's cut.
Garrett. Oh,
Super-
I know.
But yeah, I have not seen the trailer for the new Blade Runner yet.
I mean,
So,
Yeah, dude, it's so awesome, dude. We're getting more Star Wars. We're getting more Blade Runner. We're getting more Indiana Jones.
we're getting more
what year
Harrison
is it?
Ford. That's what it really comes down to.
who's playing Jumanji, and where can I go to root them on?
Wait, what?
Jumanji is being done.
It is being done. Yeah, Rock, Karen Gillian.
I don't mean the actual movie. I mean, who's playing the game Jumanji, making all this weird shit happen?
Oh, okay, yeah. I get that reference.
I get it now. Sorry.
So Tyler, here's my question. Do you think that Deckard is a replicant?
Yes,
Oh,
I do
totally.
that's why I say director's cut.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I'm definitely calling it.
I'm just excited we're getting more Harrison Ford. I know that sounds weird, but
It's funny because in Superstore they're having that whole thing. They're talking, and
wait, are you talking about the newest episode? Because I haven't seen.
No, it's back in I think season 1. He's like, I can't. She's like, I can't go through this Blade Runner debate one more time. And he's like, he's like, explain the unicorn. The director's cut doesn't count.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch this movie now, y'all.
It's such a timeless sci-fi classic that.
And if you look closely,
you absolutely need to.
If you look closely in the opening scene, you'll see. I think that it's the Millennium Falcon within the actual structure of the building, because they were low on budget and they actually ended up using props that they found in the London studio at Pinewood to fill in the set spaces.
That's kind of cool. Who directed Blade Runner?
It was Ridley
That's what
Scott.
I was thinking. Okay. Now back to Star Wars.
Boy behind Alien.
What?
I said my boy behind Alien.
Alien. Too many movies. Anyway, back to Star Wars. The Vanity Fair just released their pictures on set of the Last Jedi. We're gonna get what is it? Four different covers.
Yeah.
Bro, and I straight up cried with the cover of Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah, that's pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah. Oh shit. I'm gonna have to look because
You haven't even looked at the picture.
I've looked, but I haven't. They're not burned into my brain yet.
How dare you?
Because I don't remember a picture of or a cover with them two on it.
Yeah,
I thought it was just a photo.
No, there was a whole photo shoot, a bunch of different photos.
Yeah. I mean, but you said the cover.
that one might not.
I don't think that's a cover.
No, I don't think. No, it wasn't the cover.
Okay, I know.
Cover
about
photo.
that.
It was just one of the photos in it. No, yeah, my bad. Poor choice of words.
Yeah, man. But we get a look at more in-depth look at Adam Driver as Kylo. We get to see more of his
Yeah.
face than we did from the trailer.
They moved his scar a little. Have you guys noticed that?
Which let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Let me tell you how shady it is that at Celebration we're there, we're hanging out. Ryan Johnson's there. We're friends. We're pretty much best buddies now, regardless of what he said. And
Despite the restraining order.
but someone had tweeted out about the scar because they noticed it in the trailer, and he was like, "No, I didn't do it." But once he leaves the convention, he's like, "All right, yeah,
I did it. I did it.
Like he was just waiting to get away so no one would go talk to him about it."
Yeah.
And it's like, because if I remember correctly, Ryan Johnson has been involved for a good bit since Force Awakens was even doing some concept, right? I mean, maybe not from the very beginning of Force Awakens, but through a good bit of it. And I feel like something as important as like a scar, especially in the world of Star Wars, like, geez, like you can't just willy-nilly just place like body injuries on people and not expect them to like hold you to that.
Yeah, like, how did it move? Scars are permanent.
Right.
My assumption
And he said he moved it just because he said he moved it because it looked funny.
It
being
was
Wow.
kind of a really odd spot, though. Like that.
Yeah,
It
he
would
said
be
it just
such
looked
a
like
bitch to do
there
the,
on the
the
bridge.
CG and editing for that for the entire movie. Like it would just be so annoying.
But at the same time, though, just for consistency's sake, I mean, look at a show like Arrow. From season 1 to season 5 currently, those scars have stayed pretty well in the same spot you would expect them to be.
I think those are real. They legit gave him those scars.
Yeah, they tortured Stephen Amell.
Those are real.
Absolutely. They really burned him and stabbed him and threw grenades at him.
Little did you know his actual, like, that's why he didn't really do much before this, because prior to this, he was on a hellish island for 4 years.
God, it all makes sense now. Conspiracy confirmed.
No.
Be a new segment, Fancast and Conspiracies.
The covers, it features, there's one with Luke and Rey, and then there's one with just Carrie Fisher, which I think is appropriate. Then you've got Poe, or Finn, and the new character that's going to be introduced. I believe her name was Rose. Is that what, Tyler, do you remember at Celebration?
Yeah, Rose.
Rose. And then you've got Phasma, Kylo, and Hux on one cover.
And let's just go ahead and say, like, what's up, like, with Ryan Johnson, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Kathleen Kennedy, and their dogs just hanging out, just chilling. And how cool was it that we got to see the little guy?
Yeah, it was
We
a
got-
nice little behind the scenes. It's not one of the covers. It's in the actual spread itself.
Oh, yeah, see, I'm going to look at that
Yeah,
later.
It's a nice little behind the scenes thing. Get to see everybody together.
And you get to see, like, you finally get to see Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got a name for that casino planet, too. Ah, man, why don't I...
Yeah, I don't remember what the name of that planet was. It started with a B, I think.
Man, I'm messing up. We got Rey with her pose, her lightsaber pose. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And we get Captain Phasma with her helmet off.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll get more than 15 seconds of screen time with her.
You got a trash compactor?
Yeah, but I got shitty character development. Oh!
Oh, this is gonna be her movie. That was a disappointment. I was really sad about that. It's just they build characters up so much before the movie, and then you go and watch, and it's like 15 seconds of screen time.
Right?
You don't get to do anything cool.
It's like, what's going on, man?
So do you have in mind which one you're going to pick up?
I don't know. I'm kind of digging the Luke and Rey.
Oh, admit it, you're going to buy all of them.
I'm probably gonna buy all of them.
I'll
but
probably just pick up the Carrie Fisher cover.
oh yeah, that one too.
I'm probably getting probably the Luke and Ray one, and then I might snag the Carrie one.
Right.
The other two I don't really care too much about. Don't hate me for that one, but
What else is Benicio involved in? He's the collector, right, in the Marvel universe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's why he looks familiar.
It's like a circle.
And, you know, tying Star Wars to another series with a Del Toro involved, you have Pacific Rim 2, which has the guy that played Finn
Yep.
John Boyega.
So
John Boyega.
yeah, so there's a lot of ties in the nerddom nowadays.
It's true.
I mean,
Lots of connections.
I think it's good that these actors are, like John Boyega, for instance, are they're making other films. Like John Boyega, there's this new, is it Chicago? Or no, it's Detroit. The Detroit, when the whole riots happened, he's going to be in that one, which looks really good. And Daisy Ridley's going to be in this. There's this. I think it's a musical. I could be wrong, but she's exploring her
inner goddess.
the possibilities. It's good to see that they're branching out and
Yeah.
Yeah, because Boyega, he's also doing a movie with Emma Watson and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, The Circle. I forgot about that one.
It's something you didn't see a lot in the other two trilogies. Like, they're pretty well secluded into that world throughout the entirety of filming the trilogies.
And the name of that casino planet is Canto Bite. And it's a casino planet, and who knows what Del Toro's role is going to be in there. What
Space Vegas.
Canto Bright stays in Canto Bright.
I tell you, there's going to be a lot of space hookers.
Probably not.
Probably going to see a lot of different huts.
Man,
Yeah.
think about all the aliens we're going to see.
Oh, yeah.
This planet's going to be the cantina.
Yeah. But they're going to take it up a notch. They're like, we usually just give you a bar. We're going to give you a whole freaking planet.
Then give me Boba back.
No, he's dead. That's it. That's the end of the debate. He's not coming back. You can't tell me different.
Well, you can say that all you want until he pops back up.
He ain't going to pop back up. That Sarlacc ate him. Okay?
He did not. He is going to come back. He's going to be fierce.
No, don't
He's
get me
gonna
wrong.
be vengeful.
I love Boba Fett. I do, but I mean, come on now.
Come on. That dude was a player. Even if he doesn't come back, he's got to have a kid somewhere out there in the galaxy.
But it still is not Boba Fett, though.
No, but it's going to be another Fett.
But it's not.
Boba Jr.
It's going to be Django Fett.
It's not Boba.
Like part 2.
It's completely plausible that Boba Fett climbed out of the giant anus in the sand.
No. His jetpack was
Breached.
broke. That Sarlacc didn't throw him up. That man is dead, unfortunately. Or he's still being digested.
Who says the Sarlacc doesn't lead somewhere else?
I don't think he does. It's just a
Have you ever been inside of one?
giant ass in
You
the middle
Jack,
of the desert.
You ever get inside?
No.
It's like an oyster. It just digs down and then it shits everything back out.
I refuse to believe that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. You might have to just deal with it when they bring him back.
I don't. If they bring him back, I might cry.
Out of happiness or anguish.
Probably a little bit of both.
I think we've covered all that we've been needing to discuss
And some.
as far as recent news.
I just want to point out there are like 4 things on our list. So many tangents.
But if there's anything you guys want us to talk about that we haven't, or you want us to revisit, just let us know. Leave us a nice little comment, shoot us a message, whatever. We'll be back again shortly. But until next time, I'm the other Luke.
I'm the other host.
I'm Lord Skywalker.
And I'm riding.
It's a wrap.